Hello and welcome back to the Mega Tracker open brackets home edition close brackets. In this video I am going to just demonstrate some of the things I showed you in the other video, but with the magnifier turned on, so it'll look a bit like this. Woo! Just so that hopefully you can see, hopefully understand a little bit better, okay? Because I'm aware there was a lot of clicking, a lot of data, a lot of numbers flying around in the last one. So in this video I'm just going to slow it down a bit and zoom in a bit just so that you can kind of see what it is that I'm doing. Obviously I'll be repeating some of the information, so if you watched the first video and you understood, then you don't need to watch this one, okay? As always, if you need to pause to take in any of the information, please do that. For this one I will be using two made up students, Ken and Sally, okay, and I'll be showing you their scores. So this is the Mega Tracker Home Edition. You do not need to join it. You don't need to wait for a link. It is the usual Mega Tracker, the one you've always had access to in lessons, except what I've done is taken out that data, put it somewhere safe, and replaced it with a slightly simplified tracker suitable for you to use at home. You will notice some of the tasks are different, some of the colours are a bit different, and the way that I record work is going to be a little bit different as well. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. So what I'm going to do is just show you all the different sections of this tracker so that you understand what it is that you need to do. Okay, so when you open up the Mega Tracker, it will look something a bit like this. There will be numbers everywhere, there'll be colours everywhere, and it can seem a bit crazy or a bit wacky. So the first thing you're going to do is go up to the top of the screen, and you're going to click the filter symbol. And if you're not sure which one that is, hold your mouse over it and it will tell you. So it says filter views. I'm going to click that, and then that gives me some options. Hopefully you recognise your class there. Let's use 10x. And we have two made up students, Sally and Ken. Okay, so these are both made up year 10 students. The first thing we're going to look at is their target. It's in this blue box, so I can see Sally's target is a 6 and Ken's target is also a 6. So both students need to try and achieve a grade 6. Next to this, in black and yellow, we have what is called their aspiration target. Now, Ken has told me that even though his target is a 6, he would really like to achieve a 7. Sally has said her target is a 6 and she'd be really happy if she achieved a 6. She doesn't particularly, at this moment in time, want to try and achieve higher because she feels a 6 would be really good. Okay? Both students are targeted a 6, but one would like to try and achieve higher. Okay? That is fine. If you haven't yet given me an aspiration target and you would like to try and achieve higher in your target, then make sure you let me know, because then I can add that in for you. So we have target, aspiration grade, and their name. As we move along, we have what is known as AO1, or research. Notice there are 5 tasks here that need to be completed. Now these have all been set on Google Classroom, and if you haven't yet completed them or sent me evidence, can you please do that ASAP? Okay, remember research is worth 25% of your marks. So if you don't do it, how are you going to pass? So you can see Ken has done all 5 tasks and Sally has only done 3. What's interesting though is Sally has achieved more marks than Ken. That's because when doing their research, Sally used the dead sheet. Ken didn't. Okay, the dead sheet can be found on Google Classroom, and it's really important you use this when doing your written research. Because Ken didn't use the dead sheet, he didn't write about the correct information, and therefore his research isn't awarded as many marks. You can see here Sally has not yet done her image research, so she needs to go back to the Google Classroom and read how to do that. The total for their AO1 marks are in these orange boxes, and so far Sally has more marks than Ken. Next, we go to AO2, experiment. This is also worth 25%, and this is everything to do with your ability to try new equipment and new ideas. There's a grey section called School Experiments. Now I understand that because you're at home there are lots of things you can't do. So for example, it wouldn't be fair for me to expect you to use the studio as an experiment because you probably don't have a studio. But I know some people did do that before school closed. So if you did do any experiments before we finish school, it's important that you let me know, and I'll include them in that grey box. If you didn't have time to do any, that's okay. Let's just not worry about it, okay? That's gone, don't worry. We then have a whole range of different experiments. Now these will be set as tasks over the next few months, so more information about those will appear when I ask you to do them. If you would like to do them early, I recommend you go onto Google or YouTube and type in something like stop motion, and you'll find lots of ideas on there. Alternatively, you can find some video links or more information on my YouTube channel. When you complete a task, the box is coloured green and you are awarded marks. If it's a task that you'd already completed at school, that is coloured blue and you are also awarded marks. But it's important that I understand and that you understand whether it's something that you've done at home or at school, because I want to be able to keep track of what you're doing at home. You'll also notice there are some red boxes. Red boxes mean you have not completed the task or you have not submitted any evidence. That doesn't mean you haven't done it, but I do need to see it, so please send it to me ASAP. Finally, you can also see two pink boxes. Pink boxes mean we've had a conversation about you not being able to do a specific task. I completely understand that when you're at home, you might not have access to things that other people have. If that's the case, it's important that you let me know so that we can do something about it, or I can tell you it's okay to not do that task. I will then colour that box pink and we can move on to something that you can do. The most important tasks are the YouTube experiment tasks. Okay, there are 3 of these, but you can do more than 3 if you wish. This is where you find an idea on YouTube and then you go and copy it. This is not me giving you something specific to do, but you finding ideas yourself. I would encourage you to do as many of these as you possibly can. If there is a task you can't do, such as stop motion, then simply replace it with an extra YouTube experiment task. This purple box shows you your total mark for AO2. As you can see, Sally has scored the maximum of 18 marks and Ken has only scored a total of 8 marks. That means Ken would benefit from doing more experiments to improve his marks. The next section is AO3. This includes things like photos and annotations. When you see a task that is highlighted in green, that means it's something that has been set as homework. So you can see here, both students have completed their mind map and mood board as a homework task or in school. If a task is coloured pink, that means it is optional. I completely understand that not everyone has the programs or software to be able to create things like front covers and backgrounds. If you can't do it, let me know. I will colour it pink and you can move on to something that you can do. If a task is not coloured green, that means I've not set it as homework. There is nothing to stop you going ahead and doing this, but if you'd like to wait until it's set as homework and more information is provided, that is entirely up to you. Notice again the red boxes mean these students haven't completed these tasks. For that reason, Sally has 2 marks and Ken has 5 marks. The final section is AO4 final piece. Now final pieces are going to be really difficult in lockdown, so to help you, I've created the virtual gallery. If you haven't already submitted work for that, please do that as soon as possible, because I will give you marks for showing off your best work. Because at the end of the day, a final piece is you presenting your best pieces of work, and you can do that through the YouTube virtual gallery. Links for showing work can be found on Google Classroom, so if you haven't looked at them already, please do that. Next to that, we have the total mark for AO4. Sally has already sent some work in for the virtual gallery, so she has 7 marks. Ken has not done this. The final boxes have unusual colours to help you locate them. Now these are approximate marks. They are not your final marks. They are just rough numbers to help you understand where you are at the moment. Remember, it's really hard for me to mark your work when I can't see it. And I also can't mark work when the project's not complete. So just see these as a rough guide. So Sally is on approximately 42 marks and Ken is on approximately 24 marks. So my job is to then award you a current grade. So Sally is currently working at a grade 5+, whereas Ken is only working at a grade 3. Now Ken is quite disappointed about that and he knows he can do better. These grades are not final. You can submit extra work to improve your grade. That brings me on to the final box, which says right here. And this is the box I refer to as the minty green box. Your job is to write in all the pieces of work that you do at home between now and when we return to school. So I expect you to be writing things in there at least once a week as you complete the different tasks I set on Google Classroom. The more work you complete, the higher your mark will be. If you don't complete work, you can't write in this box and your grade will not improve. All you need to do is click that box and type in all of the tasks that you have completed. I can then click the box and I can then read these and add the marks to your score. Because these are tasks you are doing at home, I will then colour the boxes green. The final thing to tell you is that if you suddenly find you can complete a task that you did not previously think you could, then let me know in the minty green box, which is here, and I will then go back and update that for you. Once that is coloured green, it will improve your mark for that particular assessment criteria, which will improve your overall final mark. I hope this video helps you understand the tracker, and the enlarged section allows you to see the data more clearly. When completing tasks, please make sure you follow all lockdown guidance and make sure you're safe at all times. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.